we decided to step back from that market as well. And in the back of my mind, I was hearing about hemp and, the Delta 9 products that were rolling out and the opportunity there. And, I'm a cannabis person, right? So, and I think this is still true amongst a lot of people. Like, the perspective is I don't touch that, right? It's like, no, we're marijuana people, that's what we do.
Right.
And you're like, but then I started to really look into it. I went to a conference in Minnesota. I, visited a restaurant. If you ever get a chance to go to a restaurant that's selling cannabis beverages, it's amazing. I totally support it. It was an incredible experience. But first and foremost, it was awesome. I saw the opportunity, and beverages are notoriously the lowest performing form factor in marijuana in the dispensary world, and it's the fastest growing segment on the hemp side. So, I liked the opportunity. It was, you can act like a normal business, right? I mean, you still have a ton of issues.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
But half of them are gone right out of the bat. At least half of them, probably.
Half of what?
Half of the issues that you had on one side are pretty much gone when you make this decision. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you can move across state lines, you can sell direct to consumer.
That alone.
It's a game changer. It's a no-brainer, right? So
it's a window it's actually, Devon, it's a preview into what it's going to look like when deregulation occurs and we can start doing business across state lines, which is really what's going to move everything forward. And the success on the hemp side is really nothing but a preview, really, of that. And I'm surprised people in positions of making decisions aren't really paying attention to that as much as they should.
So mentally, how tough was that for you to go from the cannabis world to the hemp world? Was that
honestly,
going back and forth in the head?
It wasn't. I know it was. So it was like at first, because I had been looking at it like a little bit in the background for a while, but I think it was just, I had another uphill battle when Maryland when I didn't see an opportunity with Maryland, I was just like, I'm so frustrated.
Was Jersey an option at that point? Or was it New York or bust, or was Jersey a possibility?
Jersey.
Was it too early? Too early.
It was too early. And it was, I think, I don't think the application period, I forget why we just didn't pursue New Jersey, but, it's our head of product, my head of product. He actually had a little bit longer of a transition mentally, I think, because he was definitely on that side too. He's like, I don't know. I think we could still do marijuana and, but he came around in the sense of seeing the opportunity, and being able to, because I think ultimately our goal was to build a company, a value-based company, and really bring great products to market. And that's still possible on the hemp side. It just may look a little different, right? Like you can't do awesome flower I mean, I guess that's a whole debatable conversation there.
What did you launch with? What did it look like in the early?
So we're working on it now. Yeah, we're working on them now. The brand's called Lorea, and it's a functional beverage line. So we're focused on cannabinoid blends, adaptogens, botanicals, just very intentional ingredients to help you design of mind, so to speak. So our whole team, like our founder, she's an ultra marathon runner. She's running a 200-mile marathon on her 60th birthday. Incredibly wild. Our head of product was a rugby guy. I'm just a natural athlete, but I struggle.
He's natural.
I struggle. I still struggle. Do what I can. But, we're very into to optimize our health. And so does, things along those lines. So we wanted to create products for people that are into that stuff, right? So the different functions are energy, focus, happy, and sleep. And we want to blend, it's like the cannabinoids that are out there, it's still new to a lot of people, right? So we want to help educate people on the beauty of CBG, THCV, CBN, right? It's not just THC. So, yeah, it's exciting. And
How'd you guys deal with how'd you deal with the sugar issue? Did you use sugar in the drinks, or how did you deal with that?
So we're not, I don't believe we're still working on formulation right now, but we're not adding sugar. We're low. I can't say that for sure, but I don't think we will be. Very low sugar. I think everything is under 9 grams of sugar, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm learning a lot about developing beverage formulations, and it is hard. It is difficult, and we're doing 4, right? So, in the beginning, we're like, oh, we're going to do 4 of these different functions. And then you realize you're doing something. I'm always choosing the hardest path forward. My father told me, you could tell therapists, he's like, Devon doesn't choose the path that's less traveled. She chooses the path where there's no clear visible sign of possible getting. They
call that the path of most resistance.
Yeah. So you are born a rebel, huh?
she goes the path of the most resistance. Yeah. So
right.
So where are we today in the journey? You're still formulating. Are we selling? Are we pre-sales? Where are we at this point?
So we're in formulation mode. So we wrapped formulation recently with one group, and we decided to take it a little bit further with another group. We're hopefully finishing formulation by the end of March, and we'll be getting to market by early June. So I'm very excited. Right now, we're also looking at. Thank you. We're looking at the states that we want to launch in, which is honestly the regulatory environment on the hemp side is really, really tough as well. I mean, things are changing all the time. I mean, we have the Farm Bill, obviously, that's in queue. This is my perspective. I don't see much movement happening there anytime soon. And I don't think this administration is.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you know about the lobby? Is there a lobby put together for I'm sure there is lobbies put together on the hemp side, and I'm sure they're fairly and now they're probably stronger than they were when they put this back together the first time in 2017 was the first Farm Bill.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're supporting the Hemp Beverage Association and the U.S. Hemp Roundtable. I think the HBA has a lot of focus on the local levels, and the U.S. Hemp Roundtable. I mean, they're both working together, but the U.S. Hemp Roundtable has also a focus on the federal level. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, every state is, there's people proposing bills to ban hemp products, hemp beverages. There's milligram caps. There's a ton of moving parts that change every single day. So it's definitely still a very hard space to operate in.
Yeah, for the drink product, you find that being heavily market. Are you going to market that to like recreational states? Where's the fit for that?
Yeah. I think our focus is on the Southeast. So Florida is going to be a huge market. We're also looking at South Carolina. And I am heading out to Chicago for the National Restaurant Association conference. I think that's what it's called. Chicago is very interesting to me. Illinois. It's kind of fascinating. It's like you have to really go to the state. I mean, I feel this way about everything just because that's how my career has been, is that you have to be in the state to really see what's going on. You have to see the culture in the sense of how people are shopping. And, if there are no regulations, what does that mean, right? How are retail shops purchasing, right? And it's different. And that's some of the things that our team is focused on understanding right now. So the Southeast is very exciting, but there's also some scary moves. I mean, you saw California just outright ban it a couple of months ago. And then, Texas has a very robust hemp market, but there's some strong political opposition that, that could change pretty quickly as well.
It's a good point you make. It's something you and I talked about when we were chatting on the phone, but there is some risk, right? There's risk in anything that we do, right? But there's some risk with what's going on. There's some pending new legislation. There's what you just mentioned in California. I'm assuming that is not probable, but could happen in other places. What's your plan? Is there a plan to pivot back to cannabis if hemp disappoints you or disappoints the market?
I say we shall see what happens, because ultimately, I don't think I have the energy anymore. I mean, it's the reality is that beverage has shown to fail in the dispensary model. So it's hard to say, right? If we're pushed to dispense the dispensary model again, what do those regulations look like? Can we cross state lines? Are they going to, are they going to limit us on a state by state basis again? It just really depends. I've made comments to the team, we do want to create a non-cannabinoid beverage as well. And it just depends at the time. There's so many moving pieces to consider. And we'll just have to see.
I get it. So you mentioned